Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to me playing another round of Divinity 2 Original Sin. Last night we started the game and concluded with the destruction of the Merryweather. Today we're going to start on Fort Joy. I don't anticipate we're going to get to the end of it by the end of this video, but we'll see how far we get. Again, it's late at night and my family's all asleep, so I probably won't be doing too much commentary, but I'll add in commentary as I can. Thanks for watching. Have a good time.
I thought the Order would get rid of any trace of the old Source King.
The child has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it up at angles, inspecting his eyes, his chin, the crown of his head. He spots you, and his arms snap to his sides.
I'm not supposed to talk to elves. Well, elves eat people and their pets. Elves don't know the alphabet. Are you a sorcerer? One of those guys that brings the bad void things here?
The child looks at you straight on, unafraid, searching your face. He lifts his mirror to his nose, closes one eye, and looks at himself again.
I don't see any source on you or me. I guess they're wrong. Or crazy. Maybe you're right. At least they don't mind where anyone goes. They know we can't leave the island, and it's a lot nicer out here than inside. They're gone now. Their Majesties took them already. I guess now they're cured, and maybe they're waiting for me back at home. But you didn't die. I guess I am, but it's just normal to be scared. Nowhere isn't scary. There isn't anywhere safer. That's what I mean. You'll see.
Voidwoken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn, they made it to shore.
I know you.
I thought these bloody collars were supposed to keep those things at bay. Drowned and eaten by a Voidwoken. I wonder which order.
You spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a steady, malcontent stare. His skin is of a bright, blood-red colour. Could he be... Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one who survived the tentacles of the deep. The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer, or a duelist. You lock eyes with his, two smouldering embers that sizzle your very soul.
Yes, I imagine you do. You're made of sterner stuff than I first gave you credit for. Chances are I wouldn't have survived the shipwreck had you not returned to the aid of your fellow passengers down in that dreadful hold. You have my gratitude.
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob of the head. More than a nod, though less than a bow.
My gratitude is worth a great deal if only you'd realize it. But of course you don't, so we'll leave it at that. Now then, if there's nothing further... If you really must know, I haven't quite decided yet. I've a frightful amount of things on my mind, hence my standing here contemplating the waves.
He sighs dramatically.
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean? Memories. Quite so.
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you. A few tranquil moments pass as the waves lap against your thoughts.
As for myself, when I consider this vast expanse before us, I see an empire. I see continents dotted with mighty cities. And shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces that formed my paradise. Lost. Yes, but these weren't castles in the sky, were they? Quite obviously, I was musing over the very actual empire that I lost.
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply offended, he stares at you with utter incredulity.
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am? Well, more's the damn pity, isn't it? For I am the Red Prince, the All-Conqueror, the World-Tamer, the Spouse of the Sun. Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his grandiloquent pose deflates ever so slightly.
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and world-taming opportunities at the moment. The grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall have. This and that. Tag along. Do you really mean to compare the fate of an empire to whatever foibles you seek to fix? On the other hand, I really could do with a dog's body. And you've already proven to be trustworthy enough. You came back for the others on that ship, after all. Fine, I accept. On one condition. For reasons I'll not disclose right now, it is imperative that I should meet with a dreamer, one of the mystics of my kind. I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island. Promise me we'll look for him, and I'll extend you the blessing of my company. You do tend to beat around the bush, don't you? Oh well, that wishy-washy answer will have to do then. So, now that that's settled, first things first. Even if you are as versed in the art of eloquence as I am, that our swords will be doing a lot of the talking from here on out goes without saying. As a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself. But I'm well acquainted with the secrets of magic, and yes, even subterfuge. What say you? Very well. Onwards then to victory or death.
The Red Prince nods and gives you a smile that wavers ever so delicately between courtesy and contempt.
Now, as you're aware, you'll be travelling with a prince. Proper forms of address include Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, or if you're feeling particularly frivolous, Milord. As your luck would have it, I seem to be fresh out of luggage, so you won't be required to carry my belongings. Of course, there are other forms of protocol to bear in mind, but I'll see to it you'll pick up the rest as we go. So, without further ado, let us be off.
A black cat. Hello, Kitty. I've spotted something.
One must put in due effort if one is to reap the proper reward.
Hey, mister. It's a lot nicer here than that stinking boat, huh? I'm sure glad some of the others made it out alive too. Saw one of them wringing out their tunic at the shore a few hours ago. Say hi for me. Ooh, that's a pretty one.
We already Magister. Now speak.
Stay back, sorcerer, and stay silent. Our Godwoken speaks.
We know you've been helping sorcerers escape, Atusa. We have proof.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander. I know nothing of any escapees.
If you can tell the Godwoken no more, your tongue is of no use. Cut it out.
This can't be serious, Alexander. Come!
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes squeeze shut. Drops of blood form against the dagger's edge and quickly fall to the ground. She groans.
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. To think you would lie to his only son, your bishop, and your friend these many years. The fate of our realm hangs in the balance. If you will not help us save it, then you will help the Void destroy it. Dallas?
Yes, Your Holiness?
I believe we're done here.
What a waste. Come, we'll be needed elsewhere.
The lizard magister, or what's left of her, lies in a puddle of gore.
She was a lizard, yet a magister. No matter her reasons, her penalty was fair.
Come on then, Lexi. Lay up.
Dear one, help me teach this beast. He must respect.
Respect? Huh. Someone's got to keep this place running. Griff can't do it for free. Why'd you gotta make this so hard?
An intense-looking man steps between the thug and the elf and rolls up his sleeves, revealing well-muscled and heavily scarred arms. You recognize him. It's Ifan, who you met aboard the ship on the way here.
Just stand aside, won't you, mate? This is no business of yours.
Lone wolves decide their own business.
The thug freezes in fear for a moment before shuffling back to the protection of his crony.
Pay up, elf. No one shorts Griff. Especially not one of you. You two ought to be thanking your lucky gods it's us, and not the Magisters enforcing round here. A fool never knows what they've got till it's well and gone. Now come on, elf. If you make me say it again, there's gonna be trouble.
Why, yes. Of course I am. All my life.
Elodie? I would. Impaler.
He shifts uncomfortably.
Ah, get out of here, will ya? You ain't worth my time, neither are you.
The elf smiles and bows to you in thanks.
Follow me, before more of them trouble us. There is a safe place.
Hey, I know you.
Losa, the dark-eyed jokester you met aboard the ship, waves enthusiastically and dips into a mock elegant curtsy.
Back then I was Madame Josephine Gribbles de Pube. And you were you. Glad to see you made it. Nothing like a nice tentacle slap across the moor to set the tone for the week, eh? How'd you escape? I saw you fall. We all did. Thought you were done for. When we get out of this place, I owe you a pint. So you managed to swim to safety, is that it? What about when you were in the water? Didn't hear anything unusual, did you? No. I mean, not more unusual than usual. It's just, I thought maybe you...
Losa's voice catches in her throat. The joy drains from her face. Her eyes lose focus and her whole body goes rigid. She is stock-still, waxy-skinned, her eyes dark. Greyish-black veins run from her eyes down her cheeks. Her head snaps to you mechanically, and her eyes lock with yours, dark pupils dilated into great black voids. Light suddenly flashes back into her face. The grey veins drain to pinkish flesh, and her whole body relaxes.
Anyway, what were we talking about? Ah, it's nothing really. It's just, I'm just a bit, well, a bit hospitable. put it like this. You've never been a host, I bet. That's because you're an infested clump of leaves on the side of the road. That ain't bad, though. I'd give just about anything to be like you. But I'm a roadside inn. Red door, flowers out front, friendly lady at the door beckoning you in for half price. Like a goddamn gold star inn for the disembodied. Now, isn't that just the question of the hour? I can't be sure just yet. I'll be surprised if it's a demon. Definitely not a sprite either. Maybe a spectre, but I wouldn't bet money on it. So, how are you enjoying the joy? So true. And you can stay as long as your heart desires, free of charge. So, you want to check this place out together? Strength in numbers and all that. It does, right? Before we head out, I've got more than a few tricks up my sleeve, so you'll have to pick which one I'll pull out if, when, push comes to shove. Lately I've been into the enchanting arts, but I can shoot, slash, summon, steal, whatever your little black heart desires. So, what'll it be? Sounds fine. So, we're good to go? Yeah? Well, that was easier than I thought. And I'll do my best to stay myself. Lead the way.
Bifan rolls his sleeves back down. He nods at you, the shadow of a smile on his lips.
Good work there. Good work. I can tell you've got chops. Say, you were on the ship here with me, weren't you?
He stretches out one rough hand to shake yours. He grips your hand tight as a vice and shakes it, hard.
Say, you don't look all that busy now that we're safely on dry land. I could use someone to watch my back, and it looks like you could use someone to watch yours. I've just got a small errand to run, and then I'll be looking to get the hell out of here while I've still got a neck to collar. How about we stick together until we get out of this place? The usual way. Haphazard, terrifying, and drenched in blood. Haven't quite worked out the details yet, but I'll wager it'll be no worse than what'll happen if we stay put. 2 heads are better than 1, and when push comes to shove, 4 fists are better than 2, right?
He grins, sharp teeth glittering in the midday sun.
So, before we hit the road, it's best if we decide battle strategies up front. Should keep more of our blood in. Survival's my main priority. I'll use every trick in the book to keep us alive. But if a wayfarer's not what you're after, I've got other skills. What do you need? What good's an outlaw who can't command the shadows? I've dabbled enough to know I've an affinity for the darker arts. But I'm a quick learner. What's your preference? Can do. Onwards.
He scans the horizon for threats with one green eye, then nods back at you.
Right you are. Lead the way.
Bow your head, please! If we chant the endless prayer, the next divine will ascend, even if your kind has displeased the god so terribly of late. Haven't you heard? Bishop Alexander, the divine's own son, is God-woken. He will ascend. He will protect us from this darkness. Do not doubt that he will come into his powers at any moment. and then he shall ascend.
Amidst a crowd of screws, bolts, and scraps of metal, the woman is manipulating a glove-like contraption fitted with 5 long metal skewers. She doesn't look up as you approach.
And what you after?
I ain't. Just seeing how it's made. She's clever, Dallas. Made these herself, for those bodyguards of hers. Boy, they're sharp.
She looks up.
You looking to buy something? Nothing of mine needs testing. Pay or walk. Just don't waste any more of my time. Bolted on there tight, ain't it? Leave me. Go. Hey, bold, aren't you? Best burn it all. The Reds, they won't want what I got.
What's this? I found something.
I am not opposed to manual labor if circumstances require.
little reprieve from the din outside.
State your business. Certainly. You may not be a lizard, but your kind are hardly so bad as the humans. If it's trade you're looking for, I've made a habit of procuring items that can prove rather useful inside these walls. That's for you to decide.
I feel him, but I do not see him. I feel him, but I do not see him.
No one tells me there are so many children in this Fort's Joy. Magisters I handle, but small ones. We do not have many in my tribe anymore. And in yours? I never know how lucky we are.
As you approach the young elf, Losa suddenly grabs your arm. Her hand is damp. Her face looks pale and grey.
Hey, listen, I don't know why, but I think I need to talk to this elf. You mind?
She darts over to the elf without responding. They begin talking in earnest, more quietly than you can overhear. Losa suddenly snatches up both the elf's hands and leans close to her. Her voice rises.
You have to tell me.
The whites of Losa's eyes fade to grey, then black. The colour runs into her veins, crisscrossing her skin like lightning. She keeps hold of Sahela's hands.
It rises in you even now, Losa. Do not let it. You must be strong. Be strong. Fight. Fight. You are okay. You are yours. No one else's.
She doesn't break eye contact with Losa as she replies.
Losa is fighting an enemy. She will win. She must win.
Shut up. Let go. Let go. Let go. I don't want to hurt her. Don't make me.
Losa is rigid as a board, tense with the effort of holding Sahela's hands in tight, painful bunches.
Leave me alone. Leave me. I don't want to.
You are hurting me.
Losa's eyes are black. Sahela's fingers are white under her grasp.
Let me go. Please.
A sinister smile spreads across Losa's lips. She jerks the elf toward her.
Chatty, chatty elf. Chatty elf with all the answers. I wonder what your blood tastes like.
Losa, please. You must not defend her. She wakes if she is weakened. We must hurt her to protect her, you see?
I bet the elf blood tastes like honey, like nectar, like joy itself. Let's find out.
You must weaken her to help her. Almost enough.
None.
A few more hits. She comes back to us when she is weaker.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. What? Don't look at me like that. Good. I don't. Let's keep moving. I want to get out of this bloody place as soon as possible.
The young girl's eyes are covered, but she turns toward you when you approach. She smiles as though she recognizes you, though she couldn't have seen your face.
Ah, hello. I see you come a long way. I see you come here seeking a great adventure. Do you find it? Perhaps you keep going. Perhaps you make friends with what you see. There is a great passion in every grain of sand. Maybe you find your adventure after all.
She laughs and looks around as though taking in the scenery, though her eyes are still covered.
Many people to meet, many stones to turn. And there is a great joy here, as though the walls and water themselves were made by many smiling gods. Even if we are here under unhappy circumstances, still I feel it. I see it before my eyes. It is not so bad. I know which days have bread and which days have none. I know more bread comes someday. It helps.
Her eyebrows shoot up.
There can be a way. Amiro knows. But he is gone. Do you see him? He knows how to leave. My protector, my friend, an elf like me, with a spirit bright as new leaves. He tries to help me, to save me, and he suffers very much. He is caught by those who hurt him. I wish so much for his return. And he tells you what you seek, a way out. I know I can trust you. I see it before my eyes. I see something that helps. I see a lizard. He is a lizard of many dreams, of far feeling. You do not free Amiro without him. Yes, please ask.
Thank you for your help with that, thug. Our kind of few here. We must to be vulnerable in a place like this is tough. You may keep your shame for yourself. An open heart knows the difference between right and wrong. It is not wrong to walk in the camp. It is wrong to assault one walking. You walk among the humans too long if you think differently. I hear of no escapes. The only way out is through the Magisters, through their cure. Thugs, I can stand, but I fear the Magisters. It gives me great pain. I'm with my family. We are making beautiful magic. We are healing a tree cut down with great violence. The Magisters come. My family runs, but I fall. My son looks back. I shout to him to run. I am taken. In this cave, we trust the healer. She is young, but she sees. She knows more than we know. In the camp, the brute Griff rules. He who gives the bread has the power. Wait, before you go, I am not here without your help. I do not forget this. For you, a prize. I save it for a special occasion, but I can think of no finer occasion than this. Thank you.
Got you! I got you! Shwa, shwa, shwa! Got you!
I feel uneasy here. feel uneasy here.
friend. What do you need?
I'll stab you whack back, evil ogre, or I'll get you with my sword! I'll spare you this time, beast, but don't cross me again, ever! You're really fun. Hey, I'm gonna hide somewhere in the cave, and you come find me. Ready? Go! You found me! Okay, wait, let me hide again. Ready? Go! Oh! Wow! You're really smart. I bet. You know what? I bet my best friend would really like you. Come on, I'll introduce you. I know how to spell introduce. It's I-N-T-R-O-D-U-C-E. My way is too small for you. You'll have to find another. Hope you brought a shovel.
What's this? I found something.
Even the most noble among us must occasionally dirty their claws.
Back. You brought...
Wither, this is my new friend. He's really smart. You'll like him a lot.
Please, small child, leave me to my ruminations.
But he's really nice and tall. Maybe he can even help you with that thing.
Why? A grown friend? You brought an adult here. Good. Good gods. Can it be? What in the world are you? A fair question. My name is Withermore. I have been trapped here, I know not how long. Long enough that my flesh has long since withered to dust. Long enough that your visage is quite foreign to me. A wicked king it was, Brachus Rex by name. The Order of the Source Hunters discovered a great horror upon this prison isle, and I was sent to stop it. Yet my failure was absolute. I am not fit to bear the insignia of the Source Hunters any longer. Please, good sir, you must free me. Prise this spear from my chest, where it has been stuck fast for the last 1,000 years. Seize the spear. End this degradation. I beg you.
I'm stuck fast. I got it.
Good sir. You have set my body free. Free to crumble to dust at last. But my spirit... Blast! I remain trapped in this mouldering skeleton yet. I have heard of such magic, but have never known anyone so foul as to employ it. Brachus Rex, May maggots lace his entrails. After he interred me in this cell, he must have drawn my very soul away from me and stored it elsewhere in the fort. Thus he has bound me entirely to the mundane realm. But I know this place well. I could lead you to its likely location. In turn, you would find a path straight out of this fort. My freedom for yours. What say you? Marvelous, my friend. Marvelous. You'll first have to get inside the fort itself. There's a secret switch on a statue of the Seven in the courtyard. Surely you know it. The switch will open a hatch, and you'll be led into the prison's main floor. I suspect that within Brachus's phylactery room, you will find the container which ensnares my soul. He has likely disguised it well, but search there for another hidden switch. Brachus would have made me a supplicant, a slave to these walls. With your help, I'll die. At last. With dignity. Fort Joy is a dangerous place, my friend. Dangerous indeed. Brachus used this place to build an arsenal of terrible weaponry as yet unseen in our world. Here, he and his researchers crafted punishments and snares contrary to human dignity. Objects that could contain souls, wands that could purge the very essence from sorcerers. My order would never have used such barbaric magic against our enemies.
You're frightfully busy at the moment, love. Haven't got any liquor on hand, have you? This fella could use a little comfort. Why, look at that. Just what I ordered. Ain't you a peach, love? And old Dean here'd thank you too if he could. Poor fella over there crossed one of Griff's card sharks and got a club to the skull. Doomed to be sure, but I'd like to ease his way out.
Amid the squalor of Fort Joy, you suddenly spot an elf with diamond features, regal and radiant, but cold too, and sharper than any knife. She was the one who sat rolling dice in the ship that went under, deciding fates with every roll. Or so she said. Her eyes are focused on a lizard some distance away, and you get the distinct feeling he's an unfortunate man indeed to be trapped in her tiger-like gaze. No sooner have these words left your mouth than she turns about and grabs you in a stranglehold. You feel the tip of a long needle being pushed a little ways into your neck.
You caught me off guard. No one catches me off guard. Better tell me who you really are, so I can decide your fate here and now. There is no other elf like me.
A push, a pivot, and now you suddenly face her. The needle still all too deeply embedded in the side of your throat. Despite the precariousness of your situation, you notice something that remained undetected in the gloom of the ship. A flaw in her diamond features. A curiously shaped scar on her left cheek.
Let me tell you a little story. Once upon a bad old time, a lizard cut this living scar, into my cheek. The mark of a slave. But now I'm free, of sorts. And I've traced that lizard here, to Fort Joy. I intend to raise the subject with him. No!
She drives the needle in deeper and whispers.
In truth, it does not matter in the least who you really are. You saw me mark my prey. You could warn him, save him, or kill him before I get my chance. That makes you a liability. That makes you needle feed. Your death will be slower, more painful, but fair enough, if you insist.
She removes the needle and draws her weapon.
Let's play.
The woman looks up as you approach, wiping her brow.
What do you need? By all means, get an eyeful.
fella can't hear himself think with all this racket. Day and night she hollers after that child. You hear that, Farah? You got to cut that out. What's happened to ya? Aye, she needs help, but none that I can give. Mad as a cooker, that one, and twice as loud. Distraught don't even begin to cover it. She's hollering after that child of hers, killed by a void woken she was. Been dead and buried for a month now. Never even stepped foot in Fort Joy. And there ain't no amount of hollering that'll bring her back.
Please, can you... An elf! Stay away, cannibal! If I find out you've gone near my baby, I'll skin you alive! Away from me, savage! It's your fault we're all here in the first place. It's your fault she's gone. I'm not mad, darling. I'm not mad.
I don't think I ain't watching. That's your fifth blue just for this round.
It's time to accept reality.
What
of it? Yeah, what of it?
Ah, grab it in your gobblers, the both of you.
If you don't like the game, Topsy, you can fold.
Where are you, darling?
Farah, she ain't coming back.
You there? Elf? I'm looking for an inmate. A smallish man, thick spectacles, prone to somewhat eccentric chatter. He wears a large bronze pendant with a dragon stamped into it. Have you seen him? Useless. It is a very important matter that I locate this Migo. Tell me if you hear mention of him. Come on, old man. I can't wait all day.
I don't think I ain't
Looky here, mates. A fresh face. We love fresh faces, don't we? Oh, yes, we do. Why don't you join us in a round of cards? First hands on the house. Chuff to you, Chief. Here are your cards. You're up first.
You glance at your hand. 2 purple monarchs. A hard hand to beat.
Quite the hand, Freshy. Unfortunately, 2 is less than 5, and that's how many purples I've got. I reckon that makes me the winner. I'll be having your fee then. Blaming a bloke you just met for your misfortune, are ya? Ease off, or I'll go ahead and double what you owe. Are you really gonna make this so hard, Freshy? We'll see about that, Freshy. Into the dark with you.
as your children, your supplicants, and you divine.
Greetings, child. You must be very far from your homelands indeed. Hurts to be so far from your loved ones, eh? I know the feeling. No one's truly fine alone, my friend. People need each other, just as we need a divine.
The woman is scrabbling at her throat, as though she can hardly breathe. As she catches sight of you, recognition flashes in her terrified eyes. She drops her hands from her throat and starts hyperventilating.
Ben Mist! Ifan! Ben Mist! You killed them! You killed them! He killed them all! Murderer! You can't hide who you are, killer. Look! Look at him! It's him! It's the Silver Claw himself! Ifan Ben Mist!
The woman is scrabbling at her throat, as though she can hardly breathe.
Don't touch me! You're too close. This collar, this place, it's squeezing the life from me. I can't. I can barely even catch my breath. How is it possible? 1 minute you're in the garden in the sun, the next you're here, and they've put this thing around your neck.
Her hands move again to her throat. She seems to try to make space between her neck and the collar, but there's no space to be made.
Stay back. Stay back. Keep that monster Batman away from me.
You there. You've just arrived, isn't that right? Are you quite alone? You again? Tell me, are you alone? It's just, I've a proposition. Something very worth knowing. But it's hardly a group affair. I only need one. In that case, listen up. You must think me mad to approach a stranger, but this camp is full of cowards and I'm running out of time. Fast. Too fast. Way too fast. You would be too if you'd been here as long as I have. In fact, you should be nervous if you're here at all. I know what they have planned for us, and it ain't pretty. I've been here a long time. Longer than anyone else. People get taken sometimes. Some folks say they get cured. I don't know if I believe it, and I don't want to wait and find out. I have a way out of here. It won't be easy, and I need a partner. Just one. Are you interested? Believe whatever you want. This may be your only chance at leaving this place. Take it or don't. Attaboy. Who wouldn't? Finally someone with a little sense around here. The plan's simple, completely foolproof. I have a spell that I can use to teleport you right out of here. I can't use it on myself, but with your help, we can both get out of here.
There's an artifact that you can use to teleport me out of this place. Then I can use my spell to free you in turn. This item, though, it's in quite an unfortunate location. It's found its way into a nest of crocodilians on a secluded beach nearby. Here, give me your map and I'll show you where to go. Get that artifact, and you and I are as good as free. Go give those overgrown lizards what for.
When another divine rises, that's what happened, isn't it?
Bleeding snake. We find source so dangerous. What in his death caused it?
You, elf. What you heard about a crate of stolen supplies. And don't you lie to me now. Just like everyone else. But don't worry. Nothing happens in this camp that Griff don't find out about sooner or later.
I won't say it again. Come on, chap. That's what happened, isn't it?
Bleeding snake.
Now, let's not... Please, excuse us.
You're talking to me, not him, Sam.
Oh, for the love of Lucian, Balladeer. You're acting like a madman.
Say it again. What you said about my wife. Go on. Go on, Sam.
Well, it's the truth, and you know it. She's better off. So what if it was messy? I'd rather puke myself to death 1,000 times than let the Reds get to me. If she were my wife, I'd be happy for her.
A flat smile twitches across Balladeer's lips.
She never did like you.
The man looks for a moment at the corpse at his feet, then turns back toward the nearly finished coffin, bloodied hammer in hand.
Murder's a big word. And no, this here's a bed for someone 1,000 times better than that snake. Rest her soul. The love of my life, Gret. She passed in the night. Something in the stomach. Doctor couldn't help her.
He tenderly runs a hand along the coffin's side panel.
If she were here, she'd tell me this plank is crooked. Chastise me for using warped wood on her final bed. Then she'd laugh and kiss me. Just here.
The man holds a hand to his cheek for a moment. He turns from you, lines up another nail, and hammers it into the panel.
Bastard.
I'm meeting someone here. That... Ha! I found you, didn't I? Red, they said. Red, then dead. Not an attempt, mate. Not if I can bloody help it. Time's up, Your Highness. Let's dance. It's stabbing time.
damned nuisance these assassins are. It's their frightful manners I mind the most, really. Well, that was rather fun, wasn't it? I do find it ever so invigorating to cut a cutthroat's throat. Oh, one gets used to this kind of thing so quickly. This is hardly the first time someone's filled some poor fool's purse and bid him kill the prince. I'll tell you what, though. Whomever wants me out of the picture will have to do a lot better if they seek to get the better of me. All those bumblers they've sent so far mark a mere insult to my swordsmanship.
The woman looks out on the gently lapping waves. She seems totally at peace, but as you approach, she turns to you with a cheerful smile.
Haven't seen you around here before. New? Well, don't worry too much if you have a hard time settling in. Takes a while to get used to the place. You here alone?
She gives you a long look.
Maybe you ought to give those companions of yours another chance. Some of us haven't got anyone at all anymore. Maybe they mean something to you after all. It's nothing. If I haven't learnt that by now, I haven't learnt anything at all. Used to be I had a family. A husband and a little boy. We were healers. Source was in our blood. Then they brought us here. I couldn't stop them from taking my boys from me when they did. Reckon they were cured. Maybe even released. Don't know why the Reds didn't take me too. Now I'm just waiting for them to call my name. Waiting and remembering. Hey. Hope you gave some thought to what I said. I brought my own share of knowledge with me from the get-go. No sense in keeping it all to myself.
well, it's late, and I'm sorry I haven't really said much on this whole video, but I think this is where we're going to call it for tonight, and we'll pick this up later. Hope you enjoyed. Please have a good night.